or worse, lose your job. That's what happened to Ray Shelton. Ray's gay, two-time Teacher of the Year in Glendale, California, and he was fired for misconduct after criticizing his school's radical trans curriculum at an April school board meeting. Watch.
2 + 2 = 4. The world is not flat. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. Gender is binary and cannot be changed. Biology is not bigotry. Heterosexuality is not hate. Transgender ideology is anti-gay. It is anti-woman, and it is anti-human. It wants to take away women's sports, women's rights, women's achievements. It is misogyny writ large.
He also went on Dr. Phil just to talk common sense.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. If your chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're not men.
We're excluding a whole group of people.
They're women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men. You are not a man. If you pretend to be a man, then that's okay. That's perfectly fine.
Sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely different.
They are
things.
completely different.
Completely different words.
Now, Ray was fired for saying what 70% of the country believes and what 100% of science believes. So he's now suing the school. Ray Shelton and his attorney, David Pivtorek, joins me now. All right, Ray, what did the school tell you when they let you go?
Well, Jesse, first, I didn't get, you're right, I didn't get thrown out of a restaurant, but I did get thrown out of my job. The school basically told me that I was engaging in hate speech and creating a hostile work environment for the kids.
So
that was there.
Speaking scientific facts is hate speech.
Yes.
Did they let you down easy? Was this a face-to-face thing? How did it go down?
Well, after that meeting, the school board meeting on the 18th, I went to school the next day and was met by an administrator and my principal, and they marched me out of my classroom, and my kids, my students, where are you going? And that sort of thing. And we went upstairs, sat me down. They read a letter saying that I was being placed on leave and not to set foot on GUSD property, and then marched me out to the edge of the property, telling me not to set foot back on school property. And then they would contact me later about what specific complaints they had against me.
I mean, some teachers that sleep with students have been treated better than that. Do you have good relationships with your students? Are your students upset that you've been treated like this?
They were heartbroken. They showed up later at school board meetings. Parents came to try and spoke to the board trying to get me back in the classroom, and the person who replaced me just wasn't up to par in terms of dealing with the students, and many of my parents were heartbroken, and the school just simply, they're just not interested in good teachers. They're interested in obeying. You must enforce this transgender ideology on the youngest of children. You must use their preferred pronouns. Not only as a teacher, but other students must use the preferred pronouns or they will be expelled. So these laws affect not only teachers in free speech, but also the children themselves. If they see somebody who's clearly a woman, but who's pretending to a man, if they misgender them, they will get written up. They'll get disciplined.
All right, Counselor, we're running out of time. Real quick, how are you going to litigate this? This seems like a slam dunk, but what do I know?
Well, Jesse, I think this is pretty much a straightforward First Amendment case, as you can see. 50 years ago, the Supreme Court said that a public school teacher doesn't lose his right to free speech just because he's a public school teacher. And showing up as a private citizen to a school board meeting on his own time talking about an issue that's not just of interest to the community, but to the entire country, that schools are transing kids behind their parents' backs. And the fact that they retaliated against him really vindicates every claim that he's making about this trans ideology being an authoritarian ideology that suppresses speech instead of letting it be debated in open.
All right.